All right, so today I'm going to show you how to change a Medtronic Guardian Sensor 3. So I'm going to show you what you need. The insert device, obviously the sensor. You'll need the tape, some alcohol swabs, you'll need your transmitter, and I use this right here is Skin Tack. I use the liquid bottle. It just seems to last me a lot longer. They do sell Skin Tack in these. So I've been doing mine in my arms. I'm going to give my arms a break. So I'm going to do this one in my abdomen on my right side. Right now I have my quick set in my left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an alcohol swab. Open this up, and I think I'm going to do right here. I haven't used this spot in quite a while, so I'm just going to clean a nice big spot here. Alright, there's that. And we'll let this dry. So I'm going to open this up. This is the sensor, and I will take it out of the package here. So the bottom here, this is the pedestal that it sits on, okay? The base, this is the needle, and then that right there, where those little two black O-rings are, is where the transmitter plugs in. All right, so let me move this show you how this works. So you're gonna set this down on a flat base, or flat somewhere. Then you are going to want to make sure that this lines up correctly. All right, so that's going to go in there like that. Now, you don't want to have your hands on the buttons here. There's a little thumbprint here. You'll hold this like that, put it over. You'll hear it click, so you'll push down. All right, that means it is locked in. This will stay in like that. What you're going to do is you see these two little tabs here. What you're going to do is, still holding it here, do not press the green buttons. You're going to hold these little tabs down, okay? And you're going to pull this up, just like that. Now, you can discard this. You do not need that anymore. Inside here, you will notice there is the needle there with the sensor on it. It's around the needle. The needle does not stay inside you. It's just like a little flexible, tiny little piece. So let me adjust this some more and show you what I'm going to do. Now, you can insert it just like this if you want. There is a little sticky part underneath, or in the back there. What I like to do is take this off, and it's probably going to be a little hard to see, so let me just get it pulled up a little bit here. So now that I've pulled that up a little bit, I am going to take this and I'm going to remove it. So I'll just pull it there. Now, sometimes you see how that's sticking up. I just take the end of this, kind of push it down so it's flat. Don't use your fingers, because you do not want this to stick to your fingers, okay? Just like that. So you can see that. And be careful, you do not want to press those green buttons just as of yet. So there it is, that whole part is sticky. Now, what I'm going to do is, see where these creases are? I do not want to put it anywhere near a crease. You also got to make sure the orientation of how you put this. You can notice on the side here, there's an arrow there. And there's also an arrow on the other side. That tells you where the needle is going to go, okay? How I like to do mine is I like the sensor part, needle part to be down here, and the transmitter to be up top. So what I'm going to do, see if you can see that, I'm going to put this on my stomach like so. All right, that's going to be this way. So the transmitter is going to be on the top portion. Now, you do not have to squeeze your stomach. You do not want to press down on this really hard. You just want to set this on your stomach wherever you want to put it. Just real easy. Doesn't really matter where you put it at. I'm going to just say I'm just going to put it right there. You'll have your 2 fingers on the green buttons here. What you're going to do is, I've already cleaned my site. I'm going to insert. So 1, 2, 3. Just like that. I'm going to hold it there for 10-15 seconds. Let the tape stick. And this is painless. There's no pain. So what you're going to do now is pull straight up, just like that. All right, now you are done with this. You can set this aside. Now you can see this right here is the needle inside here. You want to hold the sides. You can hold them here or you can hold them here. And you're going to pull this straight out. The needle is going to eject itself up inside there, so you won't even see the needle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it here because I'm a more comfortable position. I'm just going to pull this up just like that. See, the needle just popped right inside. You don't even see the needle at all. My pump is beeping. It's asking me for the sensor. I'll leave that for a minute so I can finish this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape. There's 2 inside here. So I got 2 tapes here. I'll set one aside for now. I am going to take my skin tack. This right here gets folded up. My sensor is down nice and good. It looks like this one is bleeding a little bit. There's a little bit of blood on that one, but it should be okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, that bled a little bit. Sometimes they will bleed. Now, if it is bleeding and it's coming down, you know, dripping down your stomach, you might want to wait a second. This one does have a little bit of blood in it. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my skin tack here. And I'm just going to go around my site here. And mind you, this bled, but I didn't feel, I mean, there's no pain. If I had pain and it was bleeding a lot, would wait a minute, wait for it, see what happens. Sometimes you do have to pull them out. If you do have to pull it out, you can call Medtronic, let them know you had a bleeder or it hurt really bad, you had to pull it out. They will replace it. So I'm going to take my first piece of tape here. You'll see on the back it says 1 and 2, and I want this to dry. 1 and 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to take those off just like so. You don't want this to stick together. Now, you have a larger piece and a smaller piece. The larger piece is going to cover part of the sensor here, okay? The smaller piece is going to go inside here. Now, when you're putting this on, you got to keep in mind that when you put this tape on, you got to plug your transmitter into that. You do not want that hitting or the tape going over where you have to plug in your transmitter, okay? Because that can interfere with it plugging in. So what I'm going to do as you see the tape here, it goes just like that, and it's going to cover part of the sensor there. So I'll try to get as close as I can. There we go. Just like so. You can see how the small part is in there. Some of it's covering over the sensor. I'll take one side, and I'll peel it down towards my skin. And sometimes these do crease. It's not a huge deal. You can kind of stretch it to pull it some. Just like that. And this is where the skin tack really helps. So just like so. You can see, push it down just like that. Alright. Small end there, larger end somewhat over the sensor. Alright. Now, you're going to take your transmitter. Mine's charged. You can see the light stop flashing. I'm going to unplug it here, and I'm just going to pull it out. And you'll see it light up here. There it goes. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. I'm going to hold my sensor as I plug it in. I don't want to try to avoid moving it as much as possible. And you'll hear it click in. It's probably hard to hear. And then you'll wait for it to flash. See it lit up. And I'm going to take this here. I'm going to pull the tape off of the little tab from the top. You don't want to pull this over. This tape, you don't want to yank on it and pull it over. Just gently put it on top of your transmitter. Push it down. Alright, there's that. Now, as you can hear, my pump is beeping. It's probably detecting a new sensor. So it says sensor connected. If new sensor, select new. If not, select reconnect. So this is a new sensor. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to hit start new sensor. And what it's going to tell you is it's going to tell you sensor warm-up period that it can take up to 2 hours. Okay. So I'm just going to go down. I'm going to hit OK. And you'll see on the front of the pump, it says warm up. Now it will ask you for to enter your blood sugar when it's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my second piece of tape. I'm going to use more of my skin tack here. And I'm just going to put it around up on the top part. I really like the skin tack because then I don't have problems with my tape coming up at all. Just a little bit there. I don't put it on top of my transmitter. Just around my skin. And then I want this to kind of dry. I don't want to put it on while it's wet. I'll wait for that to dry there for a sec. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I wanted to show you one of my old sensors. So this right here is what actually stays inside. There's a lot of tape on this one. Let's see if I can get that to focus in. Come on, focus. I don't think it's going to want to focus. Come on. Well, that doesn't want to focus, but this is an old one. As you can see, well, probably hard to see. It's not really anything. It's literally, it's super flexible. It's like a, let's see if I put this, there we go. Maybe. It's really small and thin. It's that's not gonna work. But yeah, that's an old one. All right, so now that this is probably dry, how this goes, the smaller part goes towards where you connected the transmitter to the sensor. So same thing again, I'm going to remove 1 and 2. And this is going to go like this. The bigger part goes up on top of the transmitter. The smaller part goes towards the sensor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just like so. All right, just like that. And I'm going to push it down, kind of get it as flat as possible. And I'm going to take one of these sides off, push it down, take the other side off, and push it down. And just make sure it's all there. Just like that. All right. And it's the same, you can see there. It's the same as putting it in the back of your arm or in your leg or anywhere else. But it's painless. There's no pain at all. I find my arms work a lot better. I've gotten about 13 days is the most. I've extended the sensor. But yeah, there's no problem at all. So that's how you do the Medtronic 670G or 630G. I know some of you, I believe, 640. It's all the same, but that's for the Guardian Sensor 3. Hope you guys enjoyed.